very good afternoon to you and welcome to Lunchtime News, come to you live and direct from the Newsfirst Centre here in Colombo. I am Florin Rajendran. Before going the stories in detail, here's a look at your headlines. Venezuela produced once again in court. Several areas experienced heavy showers. Highest rainfall recorded in Norichole. Low-lying areas in Putlam and Kaluthura inundated. Rogues will not receive nominations for the local government authorities. A statement from Minister Arjuna Ranatunga. Health services staff at the Castle Street and Colombo's South hospitals on strike. Off-peak tariff scheme to be introduced for electricity consumption after 9:30 p.m. On to those stories in detail now. The Met Department says that a pre-monsoon weather system has formed over the island. Duty meteorologist Buddhika Banduratna states that the department expects heavy winds in sea areas and inland. Meanwhile, several low-lying areas in the Putlam and Kaluthura districts have been inundated as a result of heavy showers. Assistant Director of the Disaster Management Centre, Pradeep Kuripilli, states that almost 80 residents of Sinnapadua, Mundalam have been affected. Meanwhile, around 70 residents of the Kaluthura districts have also been displaced due to the severe weather conditions. According to the Met Department, the highest rainfall of 133 millimeters was recorded from the Norichole area in Putlam in the past 24 hours. Rainfall of 105 millimeters was recorded from the Putlam town, while rainfall of 75 millimeters was recorded in the Kukuleganga area. Meanwhile, the Rajanganir, Dadru Oya and Ingirimiti reservoirs have started overflowing due to the heavy rainfall. The sluice gates of the Rajanganir reservoir were opened 2 inches due to the increase in water levels. 600 cubic meters of water is being released from the reservoir per second. The engineer in charge of the Rajanganir reservoir stated that if the water level continues to increase, more sluice gates would have to be opened. Minister Arjuna Ranatunga says rogues will not receive nominations for the local government authorities. He made this statement at a public meeting in Urupula, Athanagala.
I am against thievery, I am against obtaining bribes and even extortion. I am against causing people harm. Some members went out and said that this person is here to ruin our earnings. There are members who cannot work with me. I didn't mind them continuing their political activities apart from us. But as the organizer of the SLFP, I will be granting nominations to local government authorities. I state with responsibility that rogues will not be given nominations. A certain member, I will not name him, he has said that it was because of the former president that he was able to construct a house and buy a car. I wasn't sure if the former president was having a car sale or a building contracting business. It was functioning according to such a system.
car sale එකක්වත් තිබ්බේ නැහැ කොන්ත්‍රාත්තුත් කරේ නැහැ කියන එක. ඒ වගේ ක්‍රමයකට අද හැදිලා තියෙනවා.
Minister of Sports and Tourism Navin Disanayake states that it is difficult to serve the public under a minority government. He made this statement attending an event in Mihinthale, Anuradhapura.
ඇත්ත වශයෙන්ම සුළුතර ආණ්ඩුවක ඉඳගෙන වැඩ කිරීම ඉතාමත් අපහසුයි.
It is in fact difficult to work with a minority government. What we have is not a majority government but a small one, since we had only 40 seats when the UNP won the January 8th presidential election. However, we were able to increase it to 80 to 90 with the assistance of other parties. But we do not have 113 seats.
අපිට අපේ මාණ්ඩුවේ ගිහලා ආසන 80ක් විතර තියෙනවා. නමුත් 113ක් අපිට නැහැ.
An offering of 200,000 lotus flower tributes organized by the SISIP Foundation for the 6th consecutive year was held under the auspices of the Minister of Sports and Tourism. The trial of Gampula Bithanage Samanthakumara alias Velesuda is currently underway in the Colombo High Court. The case against Velesuda was filed over his obtaining property worth 170 million rupees through the illegal drug trade. Meanwhile, a brother of Velesuda, who had divulged information regarding prominent politicians and VIPs involved in the drug racket, was arrested in Kovala yesterday. Police media spokesperson ASP Ruan Gudasekar said that the suspect was arrested near Velesuda's residence in Kovala. At the time of the arrest, the suspect had 2.3 grams of heroin in his possession. The Run Bhumi Rally for Unity, a step towards building coexistence and harmony among communities, will journey to Tirupane today. The Run Bhumi Rally commenced today's leg of the island-wide journey, making all Sri Lankans stakeholders in the development of the country from Habarana. The Run Bhumi Rally marked the commencement of today's leg of the journey with an event held at the Habarana town with the blessings and best wishes of the people. School students from Habarana and large crowds participated at this event. The people of Habarana too had organized a colourful event to welcome the Run Bhumi Rally. The brick engraved with the name of Habarana was passed hand in hand and placed on the main float of the rally, symbolizing the commitment of people of Habarana to national unity. The Run Bhumi Rally, organised by MTV Newsfirst, Colombo Port City and the National Youth Services Council, then commenced the journey to this afternoon stop, Kakirawa. On day 11 of the island-wide journey today, the Run Bhumi Rally for Unity will travel to Tirupane, Marudan, Kadavala. Newsfirst Siddharth Kotian joins us now with the latest.
Very good evening to all our viewers. We're in the town of Kakirawa right now, where the speakers are addressing the audience. As you can see, the turnout for the crowd is fantastic. There are school students of all ages and various communities who are represented here. As you can see that in the audience, the chief guest speaking there. After this little ceremony is concluded, we just witnessed a short dance performance by some of the students from the local school. This is happening right in front of the Kakirawa Divisional Secretariat, and after we finish the speeches, we will pass the brick through the audience, and as many members of the community as possible will get a chance to hold the brick and pass it between each other. And finally, it will make its way over here to the Run Bhumi Rally's main float and take it up onto the stage and place it along with all of the others that we have been collecting from around the country. This is day 11 of the Run Bhumi Rally for Unity, and I'm Sid Kotian for News First.
Brick by brick, our hearts become one. Run Bhumi Rally for Unity. 16th May, 9 a.m. Kalmune, 12 p.m. Uhana, 4 p.m. Ampara. 17th May, 9 a.m. Mahaoya, 12 p.m. Mahayangada, 4 p.m. Polonnarwa. 18th May, 9 a.m. Habarana, 12 p.m. Kakirawa, 4 p.m. Marudan Kadavala. Join us now for the nation's biggest rally.
The police FCID is currently recording a statement from Pradeep Gunawardena, former chairman of the State Trading Corporation. Police media spokesperson ASP Ruan Gunasekar stated that Gunawardena was summoned to the FCID today to provide a statement pertaining to an ongoing investigation into irregularities in the importation of rice and milk powder. Moving on to other local stories, the All Ceylon Suvasevi Union says they have commenced a strike action citing 10 demands. The president of the union, Samantha Korele-Arachi, stated that the strike will affect the Castle Street Hospital in Borella and the Colombo South Teaching Hospital. He added that they had resorted to trade union action as officials had evaded talks for over 120 days. About 40,000 health service workers from 30 grades, including health service assistants, ward clerks and lab assistants, are engaged in the strike. The Ministry of Power and Energy says that an off-peak tariff scheme will be introduced for electricity consumption after 9:30 p.m. The Secretary to the Ministry, Dr. Suren Batagoda, said that these steps will be taken to reduce the high demand in electricity consumption from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Speaking further, Batagoda added that as a step to conserve electricity, the new tariff will be in place for a time period from 9:30 p.m. to 5 a.m. State Minister of Labour Jeevan Kumaratunga states that he will stand by the party even if it causes disappointment among certain party members. He made this statement at a party meeting in Kadolana in Mortua.
The last election caused hardships for all of us. There were various rumours that I will cross over. But I, who was elected through your vote, did not make that decision, pawning your valuable vote. It was not that there were no disappointments, but we kept all those aside and worked to protect the party and the party members, and we worked with them at all times.
නමුත් අපි ඒවා පැත්තකට තියලා පක්ෂය වෙනුවෙන් පක්ෂය රකින්න පාක්ෂිකයා රකින්න සෑම වෙලාවකම ඔහුත් සමග අත්වැල් බැඳගෙන කටයුතු කරා.
Meanwhile, the Forest Conservation Department says that steps have been taken to demarcate boundary limits of the forest areas in the north of the Vilpattu National Reserve. According to the Department General Anura Sathurisinghe, the aim of this initiative is to prevent unlawful clearing of the forest reserve and to protect its boundary limits.
මායිම් සලකුණු කිරීමේ ප්‍රධාන අරමුණ තමයි කාලයක් තිස්සේ මේ වනාන්තරවල
These forests do not have a proper boundary, and because of that, illegal clearing of the forest take place and people take residency. The main aim of this process is to stop this from happening. This is a very sensitive problem from the point of view of the environment and the society and even politically. However, once there is a proper boundary, we call it boundary pillars, the illegal clearing actually reduced, because people knew for sure that the land within those boundaries belonged to the state, and we noticed that after boundaries were set, the illegal clearing of land reduced massively.
Meanwhile, environmentalist Sajiva Chamikara said that at least 3,000 acres to the north of the Vilpattu Reserve has already been cleared.
Around 50 acres of the north part of Vilpattu and 2,500 acres of the Kalladu forest has been cleared to make room for houses, and people have taken residence. In addition to that, 500 acres from Kalladu forest has also been cleared. Thus, a total of around 3,000 acres have been cleared.
The Secretary to the Ministry of Mahaweli Development and Environment, Nihal Rupasinghe, said investigations have commenced into the clearing of Vilpattu.
A report was handed over to the Minister regarding the illegal clearing of the Vilpattu Forest Reserve. Investigations are currently being carried out regarding this. Discussions will be carried out for further steps to be taken. However, the order has been given at present will be the same until further information.
Now, the Department of Wildlife Conservation says broad investigations have commenced into the destruction at the Perimadu Sanctuary in Mena. Director General of Wildlife Conservation Anura Sathurisinghe stated that the clearing of the forest has been halted. The Perimadu Sanctuary is a diverse ecosystem which lies 30 kilometers away from the Madhu Church in Mena. Environmentalists have pointed out that this forest ecosystem is also a water catchment area. Nearly 200 houses have already been built in this area against the Wildlife Conservation Act, the National Environment Act and the Archaeology Ordinance. Five more suspects have been arrested in connection with the rape and murder of a schoolgirl in Punkudithiva in Jaffna. The police said that 5 suspects were arrested in the Purikattuwan area last evening. They are to be produced before the Kites magistrate today. The 3 suspects arrested in connection with the horrific crime previously are in remand custody until the 28th of this month. 11 people were injured when a luxury bus flying from Hatton to Colombo fell off a precipice in the Kalugala area. The bus fell off a 30-foot high precipice and crashed on top of a house in the area. 9 of the injured were admitted to the Gingathena Divisional Hospital, while 2 others were admitted to the Teligama Hospital. 4 of the injured who were in critical condition were later transferred to the Navalapitiya Hospital.